All right, page 2. Before I proceed, there are a few topics here I jotted down before I forget. The India is never a trustworthy, solid ally for many reasons. Number 2. Okay. Number 3. Should I? Okay. These are important. These are just very new, but I will do it later. But I will start with the story of the bees, in the parentheses, honey producers versus termites, which I did not do it yesterday because I got bored. I'll do it now. I am beginning to post the same topics, the same KAC on YouTube, so that each platform, each social media platform has their own rules and regulations respectfully. Okay? If you cannot find me on YouTube, first you can find it on YouTube by typing in Counselor Sean. You'll find me. If you can't find me there, you can come to Facebook. So either way, you're gonna find me. It's free. All right. So the number 2 is done. The story of honeybees. Some of you might wonder why, okay, all of a sudden, why am I so much into bees, honey producers? Yeah. As you guys know that I mentioned something because there are tons of reasons why. Bees only? People know about bees. People have ever tried honey, the taste of honey. They're sweet, right? But each honey, the company don't know how they produce, domestically or internationally, and they give a different taste. My favorite is Ambrosia. It's no longer available on Amazon. It's been sold out for some time. It's all part of that coincidence. Speaking of which, I mentioned about Ambrosia, the honey is my favorite. Remember, less than a month ago, it's all sold out. Don't know when they will get the large quantity of stocks back in the warehouse. We don't know. Is that a coincidence just right before I mentioned it? Well, most of you guys will, Sean, what's the big deal? It's a popular brand and it's not coincidence, or what do you think? Yeah, if it's a coincidence, I will count maybe like 55 coincidences already. I mentioned that. Then next time I come back to that product or sold and I never get it. Another one is also Amazon brand. Remember I mentioned that. It's all sold for how long? I keep checking it. I even checked it this morning. It's all sold. It's been out of stock for how long? Over a month, 2 months. It's over 2 months already. Don't know when they will get back in stock. We don't know. We want to still challenge. Why is that only coincidence, right? Blah, 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 right? What about eggs? What about milk? What about apple? There are so many other things. That's all just squeezed out of my head. Again, I just improvise. I don't read notes. I don't type them up before I come to the public. Okay? Anyway, let's move on. Let's discuss about the bees. Why? And I tell you why I mentioned that over time. Alright guys, this is my favorite brand, Ambrosia. I purchased on Amazon. It's all sold out. As of today, I checked it already. This is the alternative. Since this one is not available, so I had to purchase this. It's also almost 5 stars. But for the taste, I prefer this one. This is my most favorite. Okay? It's more expensive than this. Anyway, they both are raw honey. I'm not here to advertise, to promote any kind of brand. I'm just give you the reference of the nature of the honey that is produced by the bees. Okay. Now, I will give you homeworks. Yeah, you just find out on the AI or the anywhere in Google. Just type it up. How many bees would it take, and how long would it take to come up with this bottle? It's a 2 pounds of honey. You find out. The more I find out, the more I'm amazed. So the more I have sympathy for them. Bees produce honey. Do you think? You know, I just had a little discussion with my friend over 2 weeks ago. And, she's a female counselor. Okay? She has a lot of knowledges. But she was amazed by my input about the bees. She did not even have any idea. She did not even think that I had that the great sympathy for the bees. Oh, Sean, you don't look like it. Yeah, let me tell you, because I'm still in the learning process. I'm still studying the nature of these little cute creatures. And the more I learn, the more I feel bad, the more I feel guilty. We take advantage on that. Oh, do you know? I don't know. Anyway, so the different the per seasonal. Okay, so bees who are born from the day one until the last day, it's just like approximately 4 weeks, a month. Average is that their lifespan is 1 month, but depends on the season though. In summertime, they live longer, but in winter time they live shorter. Okay, so I just give a little tease to this my female counselor. Do you think bees produce honey? Hey, Sean, you are a nice guy. You look handsome, so I will produce honey for you. And bye-bye. No, they don't. This is not for us. They produce honey for their own kind. Remember, okay? These words, I will touch on it. I will elaborate it later about the nature of the human. All right? So, 1 teaspoon of honey. You know how much of effort each bee has to take? Right? So they produce honey for their own kind, for their next generation, from one generation to another, another, because then by nature, that's what they do. And they nurture their little thing, and they improve, they develop their own kind, and they love their own society, they love their own colony, their honey, the colony, they call it colony, house, their territory, their country, right? Honeycomb, let's say, their country, they love, they protect. Love and protect, okay? Remember my terminologies. That will go to the next page. That's what they do. So, we pay the price, right? Yeah, bees are not in extinct situation yet. They are not like endangered species. They're not. But, so the alarms already there. Bee lovers. Well, you can type it out as a bee lover nature on your social media. You'll find a lot of information. Yeah, I am still studying. Okay. The more I am studying, I don't need to know all at once. I just slowly studying, and the more I am studying, the more I am amazed. The way they do for their own kind, for the nature, very, very beneficial. These little birds, these little cute little things. That's why they said that when you find anything out there, don't even, if they probably just like, they don't, these are the kind, they know that their clock is ticking, the last minute, they might not survive. They will not have a chance to see the next morning, the sun rise. They're about to die, or they're just so tired, they're not able to fly back to their country, their home, their colony. And they will not put the burden on their own kind. If they will fly back home, they don't do that. See? It's very thoughtful, is it? So that's their nature. So I have a sympathy for them, and okay, we consume. What did I care? I just I started learning not too long ago, just about a little bit over 7 months, 8 months ago. Well, I have been consuming honey for a long time, but I just happened to learn a little by little about the bees, the nature of the little bugs, and that their sting, each sting is so to say very, very medicinal. Anyway, that goes to different chapter. Okay? People, are you still with me? It's a little bit boring, is it? No, I don't think so. From this little topic, I'll go to the next. So now that I am learning slowly about the nature of these cute little things, and they said that when it comes to, when you find these little bees around your neighbors, around in your front yard, backyard, it's good because you are a nature lover like them, so don't kill them. If there's a chance to feed them a little water, good, or even a sugar water, a little bit, or not overfeed them, okay. I haven't seen them for quite some time. I saw a couple of them a few months ago. Let me tell you what I have done, what I did, which I felt very bad. I purchased almost 8 gallons of weed, wiregrass killers, or chemicals. Okay, each container was just a gallon. I think it's all just Roundup. They call it Roundup. It's one of the most favorite, most popular brands in the country. They call it Roundup. I purchased it. Some of them purchased it at Lowe's. Some of them from Home Depot. They don't get it on sale. I purchased it. A few dollars this, a few dollars that, and Julie purchased some too. Okay, and then I put it in the garage in the little cabinet right down there in the corner over there. It's been forgotten. So they are concentrate. So I just mix with water, and I need to clean up the weed, wiregrass, wildflowers. I upgraded the green lawn. My front yard used to be the green lawn, green grass, green bag, right? So when I got rid of it, I spent how much? $35,000 or $40,000. Upgraded. I just got a backyard fence and upgraded the driveway. Put the under the tree, thicker and seismic, the earthquake-proof wires underneath, and double layer things like that, so that it will not. It's kind of a crack-proof. Well, unless it's just like mega quake, that's different story, right? Regular quake 3, 4, 5, it's okay. So back then it was like a lot of cracks, bad shape, so that I just upgraded to, got rid of the old one and upgraded to the better one. It's still good. And anyway, so now I upgraded the front yard back then with the garden. If I knew, I would not have put in the mini garden in there. It's too much work. I thought I was going to plant a lot of trees, the small plants or things like that. I did, but it's too much trouble anyway. I should have done. The upgraded or just kind of all the parking, just like concrete. Most of my neighbors have already done that. I only spent maybe another $4,000 or $5,000 out of it, get it done. So otherwise, just it would have been nice to have some greens and garden things like that. So I decided to do the one that I have currently, right? Anyway, but different time, a different perspective. Now, if I had to get rid of the garden and all the flower things like that already, that would be costly, and demolish it and then get the new order, bring the probably cost today's inflations and the high costs, everything probably will cost me $50,000, I think, approximately $50,000 to get it done. Anyway, so meanwhile, I just study that bee stuff and the story, and they're very painful, and then they a lot of people, because a majority of people now are converting their front green yard to the concrete, right? So that they don't have food, because they live on these wild grass, wildflowers, weed, things like this is their food. Then naturally, this is their food, right? Meanwhile, they just carry the pollinate. They call it the pollen. That's what they do, right? They carry one to another. That's how the grass grows, the nature grows, and so give and take, right? The pros and cons. So what I do is that I again, it is in the past. I did use those just chemicals. You know, I have water and I have chemical in a squeeze bottle and then spray. In 2 3 days, they all get killed. But the chemical is formulated specifically for wild grasses, wildflowers, weeds, or as such. That these chemicals will not kill these like roses or the household plants. So they just the chemical selectively kill these wild plants. Anyway, so it's very strong, even though I mixed with a lot of water in 3 4 days. Well, this year the weather is so crazy. We have a lot of rains, and until recently, right? Even the springtime, we had enough rain. Even a part of the country, we had even flash flood and all kind of floods all over places. Anyway, so I would not go out to clean them up, right? So the easiest way to do is just use a chemical to kill it, and I did that until recently, right? But now as I learned, I studied the nature of the bee, so now I decided to not use these chemical weed killers anymore. So let me do it here. So it's getting dark over there. Well, there are pros and cons. Will you trade off? Well, you don't kill these wild grasses, wildflowers, weeds, as such, or the other bugs. I have all bug killers too. I have all chemicals. You name it, I have them. But the trade-off is that you will kill the bees and along with the ladybugs, right? No, I will not trade off. I will do the hard work. I will just with all these wild flowers, grass. I just hand pull. I just manually hand pull. I just use shear cutters and I do that. I don't use the chemicals anymore, unless it's also like uncontrollably big, controllably grown up, and I probably will do otherwise. I want to see them back in my property, around flying around, and so it takes time. Once they don't find food, and then once they smell the poison, something like very deadly for them, the very harmful, they don't come around anymore. So I feel pretty bad about it. That's what I'm saying. In the meantime, I produce their very precious food. Oh, one more thing though. Honeys are just the bees' vomits. Do you know that? It's not only one vomit. One bee throw up that little thing into second bee. Second bee just carry on the vomit to the third, the 2, 3, 4, and carry on for over 100 times before it gets to the honeycomb. before we get to their country. You know that? Amazing, isn't it? Over 100 times. Their vomit. Not only one time of vomit. It's like, carry on. Alright, that's the story of bees, the honey producers. Okay? And that's part of my perspectives, how I do do's and don'ts. Part of my story comes with it as well. Okay? Now let's go to page 3. The page 3 is the opposite creature, termites.